When 69-year-old Doc Evans died last night, he left a legacy in music. From string instruments to brass, from Dixieland to classical, he popularized Dixieland in this area. He founded the Bloomington Symphony Orchestra. He brought his music to the people of the Twin Cities, and he taught his music to anyone who wanted to learn.
In the early 40s, you wouldn't have found Doc Evans up on that stage. He was stuck behind a desk at a teaching job. Luckily for us all, he lost that job during the Depression and was forced to turn to music for a living. He tried classical at first, but quickly concluded that jazz simply paid better, a lot better, and by 1947 he was starring in Chicago clubs. His first real job in Minneapolis came in 1954 at the Williams Bar, where he picked up Hal Runyon, Harry Blondes, Red Maddox, and some others, and formed the band that would become a local institution. Recently, Doc's work has centered around the Bloomington Symphony and the Park Board's popular summer concerts, which he thrived on. It may sound corny, he told us last summer, but Dixieland keeps me and the boys young.
Funeral services for Doc Evans will be held at 11 o'clock this coming Friday morning at the Werness Chapel in Bloomington. And David, I was told today that there's hope that they will be able to have both the Dixieland Band and a string quartet.
I'm sure they'll have no trouble finding musicians.
Yeah.
I think probably the greatest measurement of Doc Evans' art was the numbers of kinds of places he played at the Lake Harriet Bandshell, at the Art Institute, at Walker Center. He played in Minneapolis and St. Paul parks. He played in parks outstate. He played at the Art Institute. And any place there was music where people wanted to hear a different kind of music, there was Doc Evans.
It was quite a group with Harry Blondes and Hal Runyon.
And Warren Thews, there were 5 or 6 of them there who were almost inseparable for many, many years.
Well, the funeral died Monday of a heart attack, and following today's funeral was a memorial service well befitting the king of Twin Cities jazz. Jerry Bowen reports.
Paul Doc Evans was buried in a small private ceremony, only family and close friends, the way he wanted it. Doc Evans did not like funerals. What he did like was music. Music was his life. And some of those who shared that life over the years played at his memorial service today. Doc Evans worked both sides of the musical street, from Dixieland to symphony. The Bloomington Symphony Orchestra and was as much at home with Bach and Beethoven as he was with the blues. He was described today as an unselfish man, a man who'd been given a great gift and shared it.
I'll miss his performances with that front line of Blondes, Evans, and Runyon in the parks, and I'll miss his sage reviews of jazz at St. Thomas. But I also will cherish the memory of the scenes of Paul Evans with Joe Sullivan and Bob Zerke, Harry Blondes, Don Thompson, and all those Mendota buzzards at Mitch's at the junctions of highways 55 and 100.
Eleanor Evans and her 3 sons led the mourners out, but what they walked away from was a celebration of joy, a time of some tears to be sure, but of finger-snapping reflection as well. Just the same, said bass player Ray Johnson, Doc would have preferred more spirited music. Jerry Bowen, WCCO Television News, Bloomington.
In Utah, convicted killer Gary Gilmore